What's going on, y'all? This is the Loner Lounge podcast. I'm your host, Solo. Very excited tonight. This is the second episode of the new segment of the podcast, man, called Breed Value. And, the title pretty much says it all. I wanted to create a segment of the show that brings a lot of value to my listeners and also to me as well, and maybe any guests that I have on. So tonight I got a very special guest, you know what I'm saying? Name is Nicholas Hatton. Did I say that right?
Nicholas Marquis.
Excuse me, Nicholas Marquis. All right, that's why we always ask. You know what I'm saying? All right, man.
Nicholas Hatton is my government.
Got you. I'm out of line, man. There we go.
No,
all right,
no worries.
All right, man. So here we go. All right, so he's a business. The term he uses is a consultant. I like that. You know what I'm saying? A little spin on it, man. He's a consultant.
Right.
Yeah, he's an entrepreneur. He's the CEO of CEO Mentality. And it's a business consulting group. Now he started as an entrepreneur in his first business venture as an accomplished event planner. And he has been in the event industry for over 10 years, working with Fortune 500 companies such as Coca-Cola, Delta Airlines, Microsoft, and the Lupus Foundation. Holy shit. He also found himself working with small businesses, clients who were either launching their brands or growing their businesses. And he had a passion for it. He has a passion for planning and coordination. And he always had a desire to bring the visions of clients to life, through innovation, attention to detail, and understanding of purpose, things like that, And and I think he's actually doubled a lot of his clients. I guess a lot of the business, I would say, is the word I'd put there. He's definitely helped his clients, in a big way. So you definitely got to respect that, man. So Nicholas, man, I'm glad you could join me tonight, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on? What's up to the CEOs out there?
That's right, man. We trying to talk that talk tonight, bro. I really want to get this value out to my listeners, and I want to learn a couple of things too, man. So I'm gonna get the ball rolling, and I got a couple of questions that I really want to hear your take on, man. So the first one will be, now this is important for people like me that grew up and how I grew up. What are some ways that people with little to no money can start a business? Do you have any off the head ideas about that in this technology era?
People with little to no money to start a business. So, I started my business with no money, zilch.
Oh wow.
I would say definitely anything within the service industry. But like one thing so I do a workshop called Teach Me How to Launch. And one thing that I really focus on is like utilizing your circle of network, like using what you have to get where you want to go. And so I think you can, like, if you have a vision for a business, if you're open to modifying what I call a modified solution, you could start almost any business with no money. It's just about utilizing your resources and being open to starting out as something different and ultimately ending up, with where you want to go. I use the example like Marriott used to be a root beer stand. I don't know if you knew that, no. But they started out as a root beer stand, and now they're the number one, the most premier, prestigious hotel chain line. So wow. It's really just about, like, again, using your resources and using your circle of network to get where you want to go. You can start any business with no money.
Wow, I didn't even know that about the Marriott, bro. That's amazing. They started off as a root beer stand. Are you serious?
A root beer stand. Yep.
Wow. Now, if that don't give you guys out there listening some kind of motivation, bro, I don't know what will. These people were selling root beer, and now they have the most prestigious lodging. And come on, man, that is crazy.
For real.
So there's really no excuse out here. It's really just you gotta want to do it, and like he said, it's also really good to get a hold of people like Nicholas here, that are very skilled in helping businesses brand themselves, and grow from that, because he's done it himself. He started from the mud up and, built what he wanted to build, and he knew his passions, he knew his desires, and he, like he said, he saw the vision and he just put 10 toes down and just stepped on it, so, you're definitely going to need somebody like Nicholas, a professional in that, world that can help brand you, because people like me and other people that grew up where I grew up, we don't know about branding. We don't know a lot about marketing and things like that. It's a real technical contact sport, I guess, the way I would put it, so but I'll let Nicholas kind of, elaborate on that, man. What exactly is your business? And like, if you get into detail about that a little bit.
Yeah. So again, what's up, everybody? My name is Nicholas Marquis, Coach Nick to some, and I help aspiring and new entrepreneurs launch and grow their ideas into profitable businesses. So I have a coaching program from passion to profit, and me and a team of coaches, we literally take someone, whether you have an idea or whether you don't have an idea, whether you started a business and you're stuck, or you have a new business and you just need some guidance. Like, we're there to be your support system. And, whether it's me or whether it's someone else, I remember when I was first starting my business, I didn't start to make a shift until I focused on who is in my tribe. And notice I said who is in my tribe and not in my circle. See, everybody who's in your circle can't be in your tribe. Like there's some very key people. One is like a coach or a mentor like myself. And that's pretty much what I give to my clients or how I serve my clients. But also who is that person that is going to be your devil's advocate? When you come to them with an idea, they're always pushing back, but that they have, the best intention. Who's going to be that confidant, that person who's going to be your cheerleader and the coach from the sidelines? Who's going to be that supporter that's going to just support you no matter what you try to do, and they're going to, whatever you need them to do, they're there to back you up. And so, I have an experience. I started my own business. I took those strategies and methods and I helped other people start their businesses. And so what I say is, you're not just hiring me as a consultant or a coach, but you're bringing me on your team as a part of your tribe to help you, get to the next level. And that it's important to just be well-rounded and have that support system. So.
Right. That's actually interesting with the whole tribe, get up, you just kind of detailed out, bro. I like that saying, man, because if you think about it, a tribe is usually a group of people that have a job to do, and a circle is usually people that you just spend free time with. So that is a very big different dynamic between those two groups. So that was very important what you just said, and people really need to understand the difference between those two.
Yeah, man. Listen, it took me a long time. A lot of times we wonder why, there's that saying, people come in your life either for a reason or a season. And that saying is so true. I remember when I was trying to start my event business, I didn't know how to generate revenue. I didn't know how to attract potential clients. I didn't know how to close clients. I kept doing free work. That damn free work will get
right. Absolutely.
And I literally, my mentors told me, one, you have to surround yourself with people who have your level of thinking. And more importantly, people who are where you want to be and people who are just as hungry as you. That's a lot of reasons. Investopedia says that the number one reason for people or businesses failing is because lack of capital. And I believe that the number one reason that businesses fail is because of lack of hunger. If you're not hungry, entrepreneurship isn't for you. And I came to find out quick just how hungry you had to be. And I meant literally hungry. I moved to Atlanta thinking that it was just going to be this big, this was where the top event planners were, where my people were. And I thought that it was just going to make the difference. But I had to shift my mindset. I had to shift the way that I thought about my business, who I surrounded myself with, people who, you have those people who you tell your plans to, and they always try to shit on it. You have to, those are some people in your circle. Some people in your circle even need to be let go. You know what I'm saying? Those folks can't be in the tribe. So yeah, that tribe is very important.
Yeah, man, because, there is some people, even if you grew up with them your whole life, they just, you can tell as y'all get older that they're just kind of staying stagnated, and they don't have any kind of ambition to really do a whole lot more than what they got going on right at this point. And when you start to see that and your brain is switching to, oh man, I want to build something for myself and actually be my own boss in the future versus their mindset of, yeah, I'm going to just get me a good job, whatever, 9 to 5, and just, slave away with the hours the rest of my life and I'll be cool. So, and they'll complain about it. And when people start complaining about the choices they make, those are dangerous people to be around, because they don't take any accountability for making those choices. They blame it on everything else in the world. And I don't really respect people, especially grown men that do that. You sit around and you make a choice to go to this 9 to 5 every day. And when you get off work, you do not pursue your own business. When you clock out of your 9 to 5, you go and come home and chill and watch Netflix. And you complain about it the next day. That kind of makes me mad with people. I don't know how you feel about that.
And the thing is, it rubs off on you. Like, when you're around either negative people or people who are not ambitious or people who don't really want to grow, that rubs off on you. One of the things that I coach on is, what are you doing to empower yourself, motivate yourself, and enlighten yourself? And so I studied like successful entrepreneurs. And one thing that I noticed that everyone had was a morning success ritual. And so, people think that it's corny, but it really does work. Like every morning I get up, I try to get up by 6:30. I'm trying to get there, man, but I try to get up by 6:30.
I understand, man.
And like I meditate. I do my exercise, whether I'm going to the gym, I'm trying to up that. But even if it's just like going for a 30-minute walk, I do that. I listen to an ebook or I listen to some sort of empowering podcast to learn. I journal so that I can get my thoughts out for the day. I goal set. I do all of that before I actually start my day. Now, the people who run with me in my circle, not everybody, in my tribe, not everybody has the same ritual, but we're all on the same page and we keep each other accountable. Did you go to the gym today? Did you do your affirmations today? What podcasts are you listening to? And we share that stuff. And there's some people who you try to do that with and they look at you crazy.
Right. No, you're absolutely right, man. And no, that's just a sad fact, bro. And that actually leads me into my next question, man. I really want to hear what you have to say about this one, man. So what are some universal sacrifices that people would have to make to start their own business and working for themselves? And because a lot of people don't understand that making that switch from 9 to 5 working to being your own boss, there's probably a handful, if not more, of universal sacrifices that everybody that makes that decision has to go through. Could you give some of those out to us?
Well, I think depending on where you are is different, right? There's some people who are blessed to have, money and or undisposable money right off the bat. And, they may not have to deal with financial hardship where somebody else may have to deal with going to a 9 to 5 and grinding. So my story, I didn't have that. So I had to deal with going to a 9 to 5. Well, and for people who don't know what we mean by 9 to 5, just meant like going to a job that's not your business. And then when I'm off working, my business. My business is not my side hustle. My business is my main hustle. It doesn't matter how much revenue you're generating or not generating. It doesn't matter, which line of revenue from your job, from your 9 to 5 or your business is paying your bills. Your business is your main hustle. So the first thing that I think every entrepreneur sacrifices is really laziness. We all have some sort of we're lazy somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Right. So laziness is one thing that you have to be willing to sacrifice. The other thing that I would say you have to sacrifice is your mindset. When you are stepping into entrepreneurship and when you're stepping into being a CEO, as I call it, you're stepping in to be a leader, and you have to realize that the reason that I call my followers CEOs is because you really do have to have a CEO mindset, which means that it's not just you. Once you create your business, now it goes far beyond just something, a hobby, or just something you're doing on your own. And you have to have that mindset at every point of your business, whether you are just starting or whether you're at scale and now it's time to hire a team. So I would say your current mindset, laziness, and then time. You have to put time, blood, sweat, and tears into your baby. Like that, this is literally what it is for us. Like you're birthing something. You're birthing a vision, an opportunity for others. You're making an impact. In order to do that, you have to dedicate the time to put into it. Week 1 of my program is orientation. And so I kick people in the ass right out the gate about, hey, what are your office hours? The people look at me like, what? What do you mean office hours? Yeah. What are your office hours? Like how much time are you going to dedicate to your business in a week? You go to somebody else's job, you dedicate 40 hours a week, 40 or more, depending on, how hard you're working. You dedicate 40 plus hours a week to somebody else's job, making them money. They're going to pay you a small percentage of that, not even what you're worth. So, if you're putting in 40 hours at work, how many hours are you putting in your business? So I would say those are the top 3: laziness, mindset, and time.
Right, man. I agree with every one of those, bro, because I'm a strict believer, a firm believer in complacency being the most dangerous thing on earth to human beings. Mm-hmm. That's number 1. And I'm also a very big and firm believer in the whole phoenix analogy. I don't know if you're keen on that, but a phoenix has to burn itself to ashes and then be reborn again into. So that's the mindset thing. I'm a firm believer in time. Time is one of those values, unfortunately, that human beings, it's a limited thing that we have, and once it's gone, like it'll never come back. So those are, man, you nailed it, bro. Those are definitely the 3 key points. I just wanted to put it out there so that my listeners that want to start a business, they know shit ain't no damn cakewalk, bro. You got to sacrifice a lot of big damn things. It might only sound like 3 things on a list, but those are probably the 3 biggest things that human beings struggle with the whole time. So it's not no cakewalk, bro, to tell you the truth. It's scary.
Yeah, and I asked myself, and it's so interesting you asked me that question, because something that I consistently ask myself and I ask my clients is, what are you sacrificing? If you are not getting leads, what are you going to sacrifice to get leads? Are you going to sacrifice going out with your friends so that you can have some budget to spend on ads? Are you going to sacrifice your Saturday nights or your Friday nights so that you can be posting on social media like you need to? Are you going to sacrifice that fear that you have of being on camera so you can go live and connect with your audience? What are you sacrificing? And at every stage of your business, you got to sacrifice something. Now, once you get to the point where you are successful, and success is different for everybody, but once you get to mass success, then it's like, okay, let me sacrifice to figure out what the next direction is, what the next move is, either for the business or just for my empire. But that would be a question you need to ask yourself. What are you sacrificing?
Right.
What are you not sacrificing?
Right. You nailed it right there, man. I used to tell people this, bro. I used to say, look, when you first thing you get up in the morning, sit up on your bed and really ask yourself this question, but you got to really want to know the answer. So don't bullshit yourself, but ask yourself this question when you sit up on the bed, first thing when you get up in the morning. What unbelievably stupid shit am I doing every day that is hindering me from doing what I need to do and being more productive? And also, like I said, you got to want to know the answer to that. If you don't really want to know, you'll just bullshit yourself and you'll come up with some kind of excuse in your head of why you can't do whatever. But, and another thing is, bro, like once you find it and once you ask yourself that question and you really want to know the answer, shit'll just start automatically revealing itself to you with like little shit like, well, when I wake up in the morning, I kind of sit here on my phone for about 30 minutes. And okay, so you can cut that out. And then one thing that really helped me, bro, and I want to put this out there for everybody, it's kind of like a game you can play with yourself, get you a notebook, or take the notepad on your phone, bro, and make you a list. You got 24 hours in a day. So you write 1 through 24, the numbers down on the page or on your phone, whatever. And then all throughout the day, bro, you fill them out with whatever you did within that hour. You write it down in there. And then the key of the game is to make sure at the end of the day, you had the least amount of free time for bullshit on that list as you possibly could have. That's the goal every day, to do that with that list. That's something that's really been helping me. I just wanted to see if you guys might have a little bit of, success with that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And the thing is that if you're really honest with yourself and you write that list, you'll find that there's a lot of things that you could be doing something else that's more valuable with your time. Money generating tasks. I always ask myself when I'm looking at what I've accomplished for the day, how many money generating tasks did I accomplish or was I working on? And that's a whole nother mindset thing, right? Here's another mindset. Falk, for your audience. Pay somebody to do the things that are not generating revenue. So it's so interesting because I just had this conversation. I just hired a VA, a virtual assistant, because I got bogged down with doing my marketing emails, creating invoices, sending out proposals. Those things, yes, they eventually generate money, but those are administrative tasks that I can pay somebody else to do. So I can focus on promoting the brand, building relationships, making sure that, I'm showing up as best as I can for my clients and my students. And that's where I want to increase more of my time. So when you're in the beginning, you may not be able to do that, but it's important, like you said, to write out what tasks are you doing during the day, and even put it on a goal, or make it a goal. These are tasks that I want to do more of. These are tasks that I want to outsource and get somebody else to do so I can focus on generating revenue.
Right. And that's kind of the big point about actually writing this shit down, is that you have to physically look at it every day, go back in your notebook and say, damn, I really fucked up yesterday, man. I wrote all this shit down and damn, I didn't get none of the stuff I got on my new list done. So it definitely kind of helps keep you accountable, because you got to physically go back and read that page from yesterday and be like, damn, I wasn't able to check a whole lot off on this, bro. Like, that's crazy. And it'll just kind of, it'll keep you honest with yourself. Like, yeah, I know I'm procrastinating and I'm, wasting time though, man. So definitely a very important thing, bro. So I'm actually curious about this too, man. I want to know, so what exactly was the final straw for you that made you say, man, forget this 9-to-5 gig, I'm branching out on my own?
Yeah, hold on. Before that, I just want to go back to, you said, put it in a book. Here's the thing. I also coach on making manifestation walls. Put the stuff on your wall. Like, get some poster board, or you can find some sticky flip notes and put it on your wall so that every morning when you wake up, you see it. Before you go to bed, you see it. And I have a whole like breakdown of like how to build your manifestation wall, but just very simply put a to-do list, put the goals, put it on your wall so that you see it. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, that's a better idea than I had. I like that one a lot better. That was a big ass paper you just see. Ain't no way you're gonna miss that when you get up in the morning. You ain't gonna miss that one. I like that.
Yeah. But what was the final straw for me? So let me tell you. I had got complacent for some time because I had a 9-to-5 and I was working in my event business. But I had got comfortable with the 9-to-5 because it's guaranteed income, right? Benefits, all of that. I was working in my business and I was making good money in my business, but I know that, whatever you believe, the universe or God, I know that God was telling me, like, you know what you're supposed to be doing. And I knew that my goal was always to not be a 9-to-5. What pushed me to not be a 9-to-5 and to be fully in my business was the pandemic. And of course, no one wants to be in a pandemic, but it really pushed me. And I've observed a lot of other people into their passion, into what they're supposed to be doing in their purpose. And like I said, I started out as an event planner. The way that I got into business consulting and coaching is because I would work with a lot of big companies like Coca-Cola, Microsoft, Delta Airlines, and so many more, and BET. But what I really enjoyed doing was working with people who wanted to start businesses and launch their businesses. So I would be their event planner, but I would also double as their business consultant and their business coach, because I had already did it before. I had already built my business at that point. So I had got laid off from my job, my 9 to 5, and I was like, okay, it's time for me to pivot. You know what I'm saying? Like, as an entrepreneur, we're always hit with the unthinkable. Now, COVID was definitely nothing that anyone could have predicted, but I was like, how can I pivot to where, I still have some event clients. We switched to virtual, but obviously the event industry was not, was affected. People started asking me, like, I feel like people just woke up and was like, you know what, let's give entrepreneurship a try in the middle of a pandemic. And my family and friends would come to me and say, Nick, can you help me start my business? I had helped other people start their business. And so I'm like, okay, let me help you. So we started, I helped my godmom start her business, Cynthia. And she started to make thousands of dollars. She made her first $20,000 in her business in 1 month from just the strategies and things that we were implementing and me helping her, along the way.
Wow.
So then I'm like, okay, I'm on to something. Like, I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I took what I taught her, and I was like, okay, let me just make sure that I have things written down, how I did it. And it started with my story, how I use my circle of network, how I understood how to talk to my potential audience and my customers, how I went and got coaching and got mentorship and built my tribe and, started to study businesses that were where I wanted to be, getting clients that I wanted to have. And then just from there, I kept helping people launch their business and they kept getting results. I kept helping people find their passion and they kept making a profit from it. I know that sounds corny, but I strongly believe that there's profit in passion, especially nowadays with the internet. You can find customers that want to buy almost anything, or that want or need anything. So last straw for me was, I was like, you know what? I know I was supposed to do this a long time ago, and this is the push for me. It was that sign from the universe that it's time for you to step out and do your own thing.
So the pandemic made you have to confront complacency.
It did. Absolutely, brother. It did. And comfortability.
That is crazy how something that damn bad. See, and this is what always makes me believe this, man. Human beings, there's two different types. There's those that look at a bad situation and see opportunity. And then there's those that look at a bad situation, get a hunched posture and go get in the fetal position in the corner and don't act at all. And I believe that you're the type of person that seen a bad thing like the pandemic, but your brain went to, okay, opportunity. So with some people are just built different. That's why I say everybody ain't meant to be no entrepreneur, bro. That's a fact of life. It's not going to happen. So if you don't have the kind of mindset that Nicholas has right there, bro, that type of shit where something bad happens and you don't see some kind of opportunity in it, at the end of the day, then it's I don't know. The bug might don't be there, man. It's hard to say.
Or just shift it. It's time to start thinking differently. You know what I'm saying? People got their stimulus check. Ask yourself, what did you spend your stimulus check on? Did you try to figure out how to flip it, or did you go spend it on crab legs and all this other crap? You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to change your mindset. Shift your mentality, change your reality. I've always preached that, and I am a living testament to that.
Yeah, man. That's why I got respect for people that are entrepreneurs, especially the ones that have success, and especially the ones, that made that choice during a bad time. Those are the people that I have the utmost respect for. Those are the type of people that I like to surround myself with, bro, because me growing up in the bad neighborhood that I grew up in, I could have been one of those damn people that's like, well, I was one of them people up until a few years ago. I was like, man, there ain't no damn opportunities here, bro. Nobody gives a shit about us. You know, the damn police always messing with us and people always fighting and shooting and, you know, this drug dealer. I could have been one of them people that just dove really, really deep down into my environment, bro. And I would have never made any kind of step at all because I would have just been filled with excuses. But fortunately for me, you know, I had a mother that stayed on my ass. I'm talking about she even moved me out of that neighborhood without even telling me that's why we moved. She moved me away from there, dog, and then everything just kind of started piecing together, bro. Like, and it was crazy, though. And I know I can see my mind state switching from that whole. I hate doing excuses, bro. That's one thing I'm really starting to get really grotesque about is myself when my head starts making these excuses up that go through my head every day. Yeah. I just want to slap the shit out of myself, like, bro, don't you do that. Ain't no excuses on right here. It's a wrap. Don't do that.
You're either gonna make excuses or make money. You can't do both.
Right, absolutely though, man. So that actually leads me to my final question that I have right here for you, bro. Like, I want to know this, and this is one that I think all of us could resonate with. I want to know, how many mistakes have you made on your journey to become your own boss?
Oh, I'm still making mistakes, man. Too many that I can't count. I'm still making mistakes. The thing is that you're going to make mistakes. You're going to have, I don't like to use the word failures. I like to use the word lessons. And that's how you have to look at it. You know, there is some truth to the definition of an entrepreneur, which is someone who takes on greater than normal risk, right? But if you're not looking at your mistakes and you're like, okay, how can I improve? How can I get better? You know, what can I do differently next time? And if you're not open to, you know, again, this is why some people need a coach, because you need someone from the outside looking in to tell you, hey, you're not moving right, you know, or come on, like, get it together. If you can't look at your mistakes or your losses and learn from it, and then have the motivation to pivot, or at least have the tribe behind you to help motivate you to pivot and keep going, then entrepreneurship isn't for you. But mistakes, too many that I can't count.
Right, man. I definitely can second that for myself as well, bro. That's absolutely real, man. But it's like you said, it goes back to that mindset thing you was talking about earlier, bro. You either look at your mistakes as, damn, man, oh, I really messed that up, bro. Damn, I don't know, you know, or you can be like, okay, so I see what I did wrong right there. All right, that's why that didn't work out. And boom, you make a mental note, and then you never make that mistake again. You know, so you, like you said, you know, it's best referred to as lessons, not really mistakes though, or failures, because if you learn from it, it was actually beneficial to you. It's only when you don't learn from it that it kills you, you know?
Yeah, for real.
I agree. So yeah, man. So I kind of want to do this, bro. I kind of want to get into this, man. So when it comes to being an entrepreneur, right, and you know, being your own boss and things like that, you know, and there's people out there that are super hungry for it, you know, and we've already given them the whole insight on, you know, the sacrifices that it takes, you know, the blood, sweat, and tears, the time gone that you'll never get back, but you know, you made use of all your time and things like that, man. So I kind of want to get into, you know, people like me in the podcast game, or, you know, somebody that's trying to start their own little custom shirts that they're trying to sell online, like that. That's a brand, I guess you could say. So I want you to kind of get in depth on branding, man. Exactly. Like, I mean, I don't know. You probably can't, like a magician, you probably can't give all your damn secrets away. I respect it, but like, what are some things that yeah, right. So what are some things that you would give away to the public for free, the free game, you know, not the paid for subscription, but the free game of, you know, kind of what branding really is, you know, if you could get into that without compromising.
Well, no, and you know, again, I'm here to provide values. So here's the thing you need to know about branding. A lot of people think that branding is just your logo, your colors, and your cute fonts. Now, don't get me wrong, that's a part of branding, but branding encompasses your entire way that you show up to not only your customers, but potential customers, people who are interested in your product, and everyone in between. Branding consists of three components: your brand message. So that is, you know, your doctrine, what it is that you believe in, what message you're trying to get out to the world. It also encompasses your customers, your potential customers' pain points and desires, right? That's what makes people, makes people trust you. So you have to remember KLT, know, like, and trust. So your brand message is what helps people trust you. Your brand identity. This is what helps people know you. And I'm going out of order, but that's okay. Your brand identity is your logo, your colors, your aesthetics, how you show the face of your brand on Facebook or on Instagram, or for you, your podcast, like if you did video podcast, or just your whole aesthetic. So that's identity. And then what makes people like you is your brand story. How did you get started? What was your rock bottom moment? How did you climb your way to where you are today? What is it that you are really here to do? Like your purpose, your mission, all of that stuff lives within the overall brand. And you have to constantly think of each component so that it remains consistent. That's the key to any successful brand, is that you are consistent. So even you with your podcast, where you are now, keep going and keep pushing your message. Keep improving on the identity. Keep not improving, but telling your story, because that's what people resonate with. That's what people identify with, and people buy from brands that they know, like, and trust.
I like that, man. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that little bit of info with us, bro. That's real important, and it kind of, made me put my podcast in perspective just then, because, I do this. I don't get paid for none of this right now, bro, but I work at it like I do. Absolutely. That's one thing that I know. And before I even started my podcast, man, I told myself, I said, look, dog, like, you're going to have to do this probably 3 to 5 years for free. Are you willing to eat shit for 3 to 5 years before you even make $1 from this? I was like, all right, you better make sure in your mind that you're ready for that, bro. That's what it's going to be. So now I'm already mentally prepared for this, not to make $1 for the next 3 to 5 years. And I'm cool with it now. I've accepted it. And now I'm just putting in the work like I am getting paid for it, bro. And it's a beautiful thing, kind of like pre-preparation. I had to pre-prep my mind to be able to eat a giant shit sandwich for the next 3 to 5 years and actually feel good about it, because I understand that's how it works.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to treat your brand from day one like you have millions of people listening.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you have to, and when I say treat it like that, I mean, like, even for me, right? Like, when I was first starting my event business, I had did my own logo. I had made my own logo. I tried to do my own website, things that I was not skilled in doing. And I was just like, I just need to get it out there. Now, don't get me wrong. Perfect doesn't exist. So you have some people who are like, I got to get it perfect before I get it out there. Perfect doesn't exist. But if you have some money for a graphic designer to make your logo, get a graphic designer to make your logo. If you have some money to put behind making sure that your packaging is nice, put some money behind it, or put the effort and the thought behind your brand, because that is your brand. And, you should care about your brand just as much now as to when you're making millions of dollars and have millions of listeners.
Right, man. So, I kind of want to know what you think about this, bro. I got this idea in my head. I like to call it the snowball effect.
All right.
So this is pretty much built around the idea of momentum. And what I always tell people, I'll be like, all right, well, what makes a snowball grow? It's the momentum when it gets to rolling, right? It picks up more snow and it just grows and grows and grows, and eventually it becomes an unfuckwittable snowball. Nobody can pick it up. Nobody can move it. It just, what I'm saying? That's what it is. So, how do you feel about the snowball effect, man? That's what I like to call it. What do you think about that idea?
Yeah, I mean, it goes back to, you doing what you have to do to get where you want to get. If you don't even step to the edge of the mountain or the cliff to go down the cliff, you're never going to build momentum. And right, that's what stops people. Again, right. And I want to go back to perfection. You want to get things perfect, but trying to get things perfect, you end up not launching your business or not launching your idea. You end up launching way too late, and somebody's already came in and got the customers that you had access to. So, again, perfect doesn't exist. You just, like you said, you just need to get the momentum. You just have to get over the cliff and start rolling down the hill.
Right. And that's one thing about it, man. Wanting to get things perfect perfection, man, that like it'll literally just stall you out like an old vehicle engine. Like you'll just stall and then you'll just be sitting on top of that damn cliff looking at the downhill, but you'll be right there on top of that shit looking. And then by the time you're 50 years old, you'll still be sitting up there like, damn, why didn't I never just jump off the edge of this bitch and get rolling? Like, why I still sitting
50 damn snowballs that done went past and collected your snow.
Right, absolutely. I don't want to be that man at 50 or 60 on my deathbed saying, damn, if I would have just looked at all the snowballs at the bottom, man, you can't even move no more. They're so big like it. And I'm up here with this little ass piece of snow in my hand. I could have just been, I don't want to do that. So I always keep that thought in my mind, like, bro, do not become that 60, 70-year-old man that's looking down that hill and has not rolled your snow yet. Don't do that.
Absolutely.
Right, man. So I kind of want to get into like, so what was some of your your favorable moments you've had since you've been doing your own business and working? Like, what's some of the best moments you've had?
I would say one of the best moments that I had was I had this client named Rochelle. This is like 3 years ago. She was my first client that I did like the full on, like consulting. I was her event planner, but I also was her consultant and her coach. And right. I didn't know I wanted to be a coach or a business coach. But now that I look back on it, and every time I tell her story, I'm like, oh, this was definitely my purpose. Like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So Rochelle, she was working her 9 to 5, and she wanted to start a women's empowerment brand. I Am Rochelle Cooper. That was the name of it. And so, I started working with her and we started building that business. The very first event that I did with her was called Launch and Brunch. And it was where she was launching that brand and really getting it out there. And I was literally coaching her and teaching her about branding, about getting her brand out there and how to do this event. I have an activity now in my program where it's called Find the Profit and Passion. And it's about, again, modifying what you want to do to get what you need. And she was passionate about that, but she was like, let me just take out like all of my talents. So we wrote down all of her talents, and she found out that she loved to cook, right? She would always make food and bring it to me to taste. And I'm like, Rochelle, you got something here. So now she literally launched her personal chef. I guess it's called, it's catering, but she focuses on like being a private chef.
Right.
She launched I Am Rochelle's Creative Dishes, and now her brand has gone to new heights. So that was the first person that I worked with that I literally took from just an idea into this brand to where she was able to leave her job a year later. So that was the first thing. The other thing was just last year when I launched my coaching program and my full-on consulting business. And my client, Joanna, she's a lawyer here in Atlanta, jgboylaw.com. Go get you a lawyer, a family lawyer if you need it. But we literally took her brand from nothing. She was working at another law firm. I met her in Office Depot. And I sell shirts too that like has I am entrepreneurship, I am marketing, I am podcasting and stuff like that. Because that's another thing of marketing. Like, you need to go where your customers are and market at any means necessary. She saw my shirt. She was like, what do you do? I'm like, I'm a business consultant. We had a consultation. She's been my client. We launched back in October. She left her job and in February had a $20,000 month. So where I really get my high from is getting people results and helping bring their vision to life, helping bring their idea to life. Because I remember when I was in college, I was like, I want to be this big event planner. Didn't know what I was doing. And I literally took my vision and brought it to life. And now I'm doing the same for others. That's what really gets me going.
Man, yeah, thank you for sharing that with us, bro. But I could already tell, man, this is actually what makes me get a new level of respect for you, though, man, is that I could actually see it in you and hear it in you how damn passionate you are though, man. And it's sincere. It's not that bullshit passion that a lot of entrepreneur people sell. Yours is actually genuine though. I could see it on the expressions on your face when you talk about it. Like you cracked a couple of damn smiles when you was just talking about those two clients of yours, bro. It was genuine. Nobody made you do that. It was definitely real, bro. So people like you are very necessary in the entrepreneur world, in my opinion, because we need people that ain't gonna bullshit us for their own benefit. You actually give a shit about what you do, and I'm pretty sure you was what you wished you had somebody like you back when you first started to help get you, and instead of having to go through a lot of those hardships. It would have been nice to have had a Nicholas Marquis, man, just just get in your ear, you know what I'm saying? So that yeah. I think that's what sparks your genuineness about it, is because you like, I guess you kind of treat people how you would have liked to have been treated. So I guess if you didn't have that before you started, you want to make sure nobody has to go through that same kind of damn struggle. You kind of can provide some assistance. That's a beautiful thing, man.
Absolutely. You're right. I didn't have that when I started. And the thing is, I had mentors, I had solid people in my corner, but it's the difference between having somebody like in entrepreneurship that has went through it. My event planning coach, her name is Melanie Woodward. I got to give her a shout out. And that was when my business started to change, because somebody who has done it before took the time. Now, I had to pay for it. Don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. I love giving. My Instagram has free content. I do free workshops every now and then, but you got to pay me. But it wasn't until I went and got the mentorship and the coaching that really started to shift things. And let me tell you, it wasn't all strategy and method. It was just somebody there kicking me in the butt. Like, hey, listen, get up, put together your proposal, go and try and set a goal. You need to talk to 20 people this week. If you know that you talk for every 20 people that you talk to, you get 2 clients. How many do you need to meet your sales goals? Like, it took somebody to really push me and really help me like understand like what it is that I'm doing, and hold me accountable. And that's what I offer people. Joanna and Rochelle, those are my babies, because I was there at the inception of those ideas, and I see where they are now. That's why I get so much joy talking about them. But I treat every client the same way. Like, listen, we're in this together. If you're not successful, I'm not successful, because I need a video review. If you're not successful, you're not going to give me no video review. So, Right.
So it's a two-way street there, bro. I like that. That actually makes you keep yourself in check as well. That's a good skill. That's a good thing to have right there in the corner. So that's a great business that you're in though, man, because the business you're in actually helps you keep yourself in check, because like you said, if they don't win, you don't win in that area, because, then it was just a big waste of time. So that actually keeps you on your toes, man. So that's a hell of a damn business, bro. I like that, man.
Yeah.
So let me go ahead and let you do this, man. I want you to give out all your link, all your info, man, where people can get a hold of you at. How can they get a hold of you for consulting, whatever, bro? The floor is yours. Go crazy. Give them all the info they need to get in contact with you and your business.
Yeah, you can visit my website at www.ceo-mentality.com, or you can follow me on all social media at Nicholas Marquis, MARQUE, for motivation, inspiration, and empowerment. Listen, if you are looking to launch your business, if you have an idea that you want to turn into a business, or maybe you're a new business owner or an established business owner and you're just stuck, I am your boy to give you the kick in the rear that you need, but the pat on the back and the sauce, because I got the sauce. I do a workshop every Wednesday called Teach Me How to Launch, where you can come and get some of the strategies that I talked about tonight. I go into detail about that: the circle of network, copywriting, branding, marketing, sales. And you can get all of that through my different channels.
Right, man. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I really like what we talked about today, man. I think it'll help a lot of people out. I think people will really take a good piece of value from this show today, man. So I can't thank you enough for coming on here and blessing us with your expertise. And also just being real genuine about it, man. You're a good dude, man. So I appreciate that. Listen, I'm definitely going to be staying in contact with him as well, bro, because every time I hear the man speak, man, it always just keeps convincing me that this man knows what he's doing. Like, and it's somebody that I would really like to have on board with what I got going on. So I'm definitely going to be staying in contact. I know, and I encourage everybody listening that if you got a brand or something you want to get launched, man, just contact this man. At least just get you a consultation, at the least. You know what I'm saying? Just so, because trust me, once you hear the man and what he has to tell you, about how to launch your stuff, you're going to want to dive into that, because I mean, you just know what he's talking about. And it's one of those things where you get a good feeling from it. So definitely go follow him on all the sites he just told you, man. And you spoke about your live too. Is that what you do in the group on Facebook, right? Where you give the details about kind of what we talked about, or is that something you don't do frequently? Or?
So, yeah, occasionally. So my Facebook group, again, you can, on Instagram, you can find the link in my bio, and I'll give you the link too, but you find the link in my bio for my free Facebook group. We have a free Facebook group that occasionally I go live, especially during launch season, because I want to give that value out. So for the next 2 Saturdays, I'll be going live. This weekend, we're talking about the art of sales. And then the following weekend, we're talking about, so we did mindset, we did branding, sales, and we'll be talking about marketing. But every Wednesday, I do a Teach Me How to Launch workshop where I go into detail just about these strategies. And so you can catch that on the website or my Instagram.
All right, man, definitely. And I encourage you guys to go click on the bio and the Instagram, man, and go through all the lives he's done so far. There's a lot of information in those things, man. I'm telling you, you will not. It'll be a good investment of your time to go back through those and listen to what he was talking about. Very good shit on there, man. So we're going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. This is the Loner Lounge podcast. I appreciate y'all listening to another one. I'll catch y'all on the next.
Man, thanks for having me.